From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
They lit off fireworks until midnight, and then I screamed at them, and they stopped for a while and started again.
Some folks in town figured it would be a quiet night on the 4th following the ban of fireworks in town, but that wasn't the case. I'm Jolie Slee, and I'll tell you how the enforcement of the ban worked out and how hearing these fireworks made some people in town explosively angry.
Questions remained around how a small bag of cocaine got into the White House. I'm Jared Hill with the leading theory from security officials.
Instagram's 2 billion users have a new way to communicate. I'm Danya Backus with a look at the new Threads app and what it means for Twitter.
Summer shark bites are on the rise, but drones are working to keep swimmers safe. I'm Bradley Blackburn in New York with the high-tech beach patrol that can spot sharks before they attack.
It's 6:01.
It's Jaws.
It is Jaws. Thankfully, in Montana, landlocked state, we don't have to worry about those big biters.
No, but we have our own set of big biters when it comes to bears.
More on the furry side, though, so I'll take those.
It is beautiful out there. You can see behind
is.
us the mining city. A little bit of cloud cover, but comfortable. Yet cool temperatures this morning. Most areas sitting around the 50-degree mark to start the morning. The afternoon should top out around the 70-degree mark as you get into the late part of the day. A couple of isolated thunder showers possible as you get into the afternoon and early evening. We're not talking a severe weather threat in and of itself, but there may be some small to moderate hail and some gusty winds, as well as some brief heavy downpours with a few of those storms. They're not going to last long, though. As we get closer to sunset, that rain disappears. It is absolutely gorgeous looking outside this morning. That's off of our Bozeman iCamp on the MSU campus. Just pack the umbrella or rain jacket today. Temperatures should top out into the low 70s in Bozeman, right around 70 in Butte for the afternoon. I'm going to talk more about the rain chances and the warmer temperatures on the way. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. Right off the top, Butte police anticipate charges will be filed against a young woman who turned herself into authorities in connection with the deadly hit and run on the campus of Montana Tech Monday evening. A 20-year-old woman is suspected of hitting 2 young men with her vehicle at around 11 o'clock Monday night on West Granite Street and then driving away from the scene. A 23-year-old died in the incident and a 21-year-old was injured. Butte police say the driver turned herself over to the police Tuesday afternoon. Investigators are working with the county attorney's office and charges are expected to be filed against the young woman. Police have not released the identity of the victim or the suspect as of last evening. And Yellowstone National Park is now releasing the cause of death for a woman found dead in a vehicle south of Old Faithful on May 13th. The Teton County, Wyoming Coroner's Office says Catherine Daniel Griffin of Steffner, Florida, died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. A 47-year-old Michael McCollum was arrested after the woman was found in his vehicle. He is charged with driving with a revoked license, possession of a controlled substance, and a traffic violation. He is currently free on a $2,500 cash bond. He is living with his brother in Missouri and must check in with the court every other week. Park officials say the incident remains under investigation. And in June, fireworks were banned in Bozeman, but even so, the skies lit up for the 4th of July. Now, this video was taken at the softball complex off Highland Boulevard, where, for the first time in 3 years, a free fireworks show delighted the crowd. Now, this show was legal, sponsored by the city and the Armory Hotel. That display was delayed by about 7 minutes while the fireworks crew waited for a medical helicopter to land at the nearby hospital. However, across town, others put on their own fireworks show, despite the ban. MTN's Jolie Slee tells us how enforcement of the ban worked out and how angry some people are to hear their neighbors not complying.
While some were oohing and awing on the 4th here in Bozeman, others were at home sitting and fuming. Despite the recent ban of fireworks here in town, folks say hearing their neighbors pop off fireworks made them explosively angry.
It started on Monday night, and they lit off fireworks until midnight, and then I screamed at them, and they stopped for a while and started again.
Monica Schneider says she was excited to hear that fireworks were banned in Bozeman city limits this year.
I just thought, yay, we'll be able to go to sleep on the 4th of July.
But she thought wrong.
Last night it just sounded like bombs were going off from 10 o'clock until midnight.
These videos were taken at the legal fireworks show put on by the city at the softball complex off Highland Boulevard. Schneider says it wasn't these fireworks that kept her up, but the folks in town who decided to put on their own fireworks show.
True of you too?
She says the fireworks not only keep her up at night, but they also keep up her 2 dogs as well.
It makes them shake. My little girl dog got on my chest and got under my covers and was shaking like a leaf.
And Schneider says she thinks law enforcement could have done a better job enforcing the fireworks. But Bozeman PD's patrol captain Joe Swanson says they did the best they could.
Starting on Friday of last week on the 30th till early this morning, about 7 a.m., about 700 calls for service just for our officers.
And 75 of those calls were firework related.
We did respond to all of those.
But Swanson said they took an educational approach this year instead of issuing folks a $500 fine or a misdemeanor.
We did not write any citations. We gave a number of warnings to the groups who we did encounter, explained what the new ordinance is, and there were a number of people, rightfully so, who didn't know.
Swanson says people were compliant, but Schneider says she still was seeing and hearing fireworks all over town.
What do you hope is done differently in the future, next year for the 4th?
I hope that people are not allowed to light off fireworks at all. People have to get up and go to work in the morning, and it's unnecessary, I think.
In Bozeman, Jolie Salee, MTN News.
Thank you very much, Jolie. Now on to the national scene. Right now, there are still questions into how a powdery substance that was later determined to be cocaine got into the White House. It was discovered in an area frequented by visitors on Sunday, causing a temporary lockdown. The president has been briefed on the situation, and as CBS News' Jared Hill reports, a full review is underway.
The U.S. Secret Service is now leading the probe to find out how a small bag of cocaine got into the White House.
The president thinks it's very important to get to the bottom of this.
A senior law enforcement official says the substance was found Sunday on the ground floor in a common area near the entry to the West Wing. It's close to a set of storage cubbies where visitors leave their cell phones during a tour.
This is a heavily traveled, to be more accurate, area of the campus of the White House.
Investigators are trying to pull fingerprints off the bag. Visitor logs and camera surveillance are also being searched as senior officials say the leading theory is that someone on the tour may have left a bag of cocaine. The White House confirms there were West Wing tours over the weekend. All visitors are vetted and go through security before coming into the grounds.
Not every camera is trained on everybody at every minute. There is a possibility that you may never determine who did this.
GOP presidential hopeful Ron DeSantis joked about the incident on Outkick's Tommy Lawrence show.
I think a lot of us have believed that the Biden administration's been blowing it on a lot of fronts, but I guess it's a little bit more literal than even I had thought.
The White House says staffers and Secret Service detailees are all subject to rigorous drug testing. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Now, Jared tells us that the president and first lady were not at the White House at the time that the substance was discovered. CBS News has learned that the bag is currently at a federally run laboratory. Arkansas Senate Republican Tom Cotton has written to the director of the U.S. Secret Service asking for his plan to correct any security flaws. And the apparent tension between tech billionaires Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk could be headed to a new level. Yesterday, Zuckerberg's Instagram released a new app, and some are calling it a Twitter killer. Danya Backus has the details.
Smartphone users everywhere have a new social media option. Instagram, known for pictures and quick videos, now has a new app that looks a whole lot like Twitter.
It will be strategically, intentionally, unashamedly similar to Twitter.
It's called Threads and is billed as a text-based conversation app. Instagram users can link their current account to the new app and follow the same people.
Instagram has 2 billion users compared to around 250 million of Twitter. So if only 1 in 10 Instagram users tries using Threads, it's overtaken Twitter in the blink of an eye.
This is just the latest challenge for Twitter owner Elon Musk. There's already competition from Blue Sky, a new app launched by Twitter's inventor and former CEO Jack Dorsey. Musk is also facing backlash for his latest decision to limit the number of tweets users can see.
Since Elon Musk took over, the system itself isn't working as well as it should. Just over the weekend, we saw Twitter go down and then limits put in place for users so that it doesn't break the servers again.
Instagram is part of Meta. Its CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, and Musk recently sparred online, agreeing to a cage match. While that fight hasn't come to fruition, the virtual one seems to be escalating. We'll soon see if the Threads app just throws a jab at Twitter's business or a knockout blow. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Now for this next story, we're going to head over to the East Coast. Several shark bite incidences have had sightings and are putting beachgoers on alert in Florida and in New York in recent days. New York State is now using drones to patrol the waters, and CBS's Bradley Blackburn gets a look at these eyes in the sky.
The sight of a dorsal fin skimming the surface was enough to send swimmers scampering in Pensacola, Florida. In New York waters, there have been at least 5 suspected shark attacks just this week. So officials here are taking to the skies. Are the swimmers even aware this is happening?
Most people don't ever even see the drone.
A fleet of drones now monitors state beaches, hovering over the shore to look for sharks or the bait fish that attract them.
That's what's bringing the sharks closer to shore. So we had to react to that. We think that's our new normal.
A drone can stay in the air for up to 40 minutes and quickly move over the beach. If they spot a shark, lifeguards are alerted by radio to get swimmers to safety. Drone video captured a school of sand sharks feeding close to the shore Tuesday, and officials kept everyone on land. Beachgoers say they're comfortable but cautious.
I'm going to keep my eye out, but still going in.
According to the International Shark Attack Files, there have been 16 confirmed shark bites in the U.S. so far this year. But marine experts say you're more likely to win the lottery or get hit by lightning than get bitten by a shark.
People should be cautious about drowning and riptides a lot more than they should be about sharks.
To play it safe, experts advise leaving your jewelry at home, swimming in groups, and staying close to the shore. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, Robert Moses State Park, New York.